Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to go over factoring the trinomials 54x squared plus 3x minus 40. I mentioned in previous video that I would create a video that factoring this trinomial using quadratic formulas. It is not a quadratic equation, but we treat it as a quadratic, a trinomial in terms of quadratic, and we borrow the quadratic formulas to pull out two factors for this expression. In previous video, I went over this factoring with the method of finding the two numbers that multiply give you a product of 54 times negative 40, which is a very big number here. Okay, so 54 times negative 40 is a huge number, 2,160. And then from there, we have to find two numbers multiply that give me negative 2160. But the same two number adding will give me the variable for the coefficient for the variable x to the exponent 1. So sometimes this process can be quite tedious. Therefore, if we borrow the quadratic formulas, it's easier for us to work with just steps, okay, using straightforward steps. So what I'm going to ask everyone is to pretend this is a quadratic equation, and then we borrow the quadratic formulas. To work with quadratics, we need to identify A, B, and C first. So I will have A equal to 54, B equal to positive 3. Okay, make sure we involve the sign as well. And C is equal to negative 40. So talking about quadratic formulas, that means we are going to find x. And there's two solutions for x. It will be negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so this is called the discriminant. The discriminant will tell me what type of solution that I have for this quadratics. Okay, so if it's a positive values, I will have two distinct solution for this quadratic equation. Pretend, okay, so it isn't an expression, but we just pretend that equal to 0. So I'm going to put 0 here, and I just put like pretend, so that we can borrow the quadratic formulas to pull out our two factors. Alright, so then what I'm going to do first is I'm going to figure out the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. So that means I will have 3 square that, subtract 4, multiply by a, which is 54, and multiply by c, which is negative 40. So it's very important that involving the negative sign. So this is 9. And negative 4 times 54 times negative 40 will give me plus A640. So this will give me 8649. Alright, so the next step is to substitute this into here to figure out our value for the discriminant. So then I will have we have two distinct solution. Okay, so I will have x1 equal to negative b, which is negative 3, plus square root of 8,649 divided by 2 times 54. So I should have negative 3 square root of 8,649 will give me 93. So you can check that using your calculator. 2 times 54 give me 108. Okay, so let me double check again. Square root of A649, I'm punching into my calculator here, is 93. So then I should have the solution as 90 over 108. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get my 90 over 108. I need to reduce to lowest term. You need to reduce this fraction to lowest term. So I know that if I divide it by 18, I will have a lowest term for the fraction as 5 over 6. 18 divide into 90 will give me 5. Okay, and 108 divided by 18 will give me 6. So 5 over 6. So we leave it for now. And then the x2 will be equal to minus 3 subtract the discriminant, which is the square root of 8649, which we already found, which is equal to 93. Okay, divided by 108. So this, I should end up with negative 96 divided by 108. And I know that if I reduce to the lowest term, I should have a value as negative 8 over 9. So I divide it by 12. Okay, divided by 12. So using this method, you really have to reduce your fraction to lowest term. So in solving for this equation, you need to express your solution in lowest term anyway, in term of the fraction. So in this case, I should have negative 8 over 9. Okay, so check our calculator. 96 divided by negative 12 should give me negative 8. 108 divided by 9, divided by 12, should give me 9. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So now these are the two solutions. So what do we do now in terms of getting this two solution? Okay, so then what you do is you are going to write it like this. So x equal to 5 over 6 or x equal to negative 8 over 9. Okay, so in terms of the quadratics, if we borrow that concept, then we will have two distinct solutions for x. So x is equal to 5 over 6, or you can have x equal to negative 8 over 9. So what you do is you convert this into an equation. So you convert it into 6x equal to 5. So you multiply 6 over to the other side of this equation here. And here you have 9x equal to negative 8. Okay, so solve for this by bring all of this over to one side of the equation, let it equal to 0. Alright, okay, so you move this operation over to this side, it will be 6x minus 5. You move this operation to this side, it will be 9x plus 8, both equal to 0. So since they're both equal to 0, I'm going to multiply these two equations together. I will take equation 1, I multiply equation 2. Because the other side is equal to 0 anyway, right? So I should have 6x minus 5 multiplied by 9x plus 8, set that equal to 0. Okay, so don't forget, equal to 0 is what we actually borrow the concept of quadratic equation to work with. Okay, so basically, now you see these are the two factors of that expression. So then 54x squared plus 3x minus 40, the factors of that should be 6x minus 5 multiplied by 9x plus 8 as the final result. Okay, so if we use the other method, so let's go back to the other method, we end up with the same thing. So the either 6x minus 5 multiplied by 9x plus 8. The orders of this doesn't make any difference, right? So the order is, this is just equal to 6x minus 5 and then 9x plus 8. So they practically equal to each other anyway. So doesn't matter of the order of the term because of the multiplication. So for here, I have the same thing, 6x minus 5 multiplied by 9x plus 8. So some students found this method is a lot easier than using the concept of take A times B, get the product, and then go from there. Sometimes it's very tedious and take a long time to figure out these two number multiply will give me this product. The same two number adding will give me the coefficient b of the term x to the exponent 1. So for this particular method, it's straightforward. It's straightforward that you are using the quadratic formulas given follow the BADMAS, knowing the quadratic formula well, solve for the two values of x, like pretend that's equal to 0, solve for the two values of x, reduce to lowest term, keep it as fraction, and then convert this into an equation, convert this into an equation with the other side equal to 0, and multiply the two expressions. All right, thank you.